stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. At the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
There are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. We dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, we can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again, and then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the army of Ukraine, our army.
Broadcasting live from the basement of a Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Sorry about that. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence on this 16 March 2026. You ever had like that feeling where your nose is tickling like you're gonna sneeze or something? And being the fact that the nose that I have, it's cavernous, most destructive sneeze that I could lay out. I didn't want to like knock y'all out, knock my microphone down and all that if I was gonna sneeze. And I didn't want to sneeze on air, so make sure you guys didn't get the entire scope of the Death Star via my nose. Anyways, welcome to WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments Monday edition, where we have news, discussion, and commentary. Man, what a weekend! So discussing some pop culture stuff and going back and forth with some of my friends. My friends in the business, the motion picture industry, and talking, of course, to CQ, getting all the ins and outs of the Oscars and hearing all the dilemma and all the drama, So, and then of course, the VA, and then of course the timeline. I'm gonna say right now, for those of you guys that like to talk shit openly on U.S. Army WTF Moments' Facebook page, which are all your open comments. We're going to show the rest of the world what you think about soldiers and service members dying while conducting combat operations in Viva la Gold Corp. Yeah, exactly that. Hashtag murder cult. We're going to highlight, because everyone likes to talk with their full chest. They want to talk shit. And sometimes there are some things that you post that you can just say, our hearts go to the families, our condolences, blah, 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 the standard I feel. And they're just some things that I'd rather have you post on other me, personally, just me. I would not be posting some of the shit that we've been seeing on U.S. Army WTF Moments' comments. And we're going to cover that in a minute. So let's do a little discussion on the VA. Today we had, well, actually not say today, but over the weekend we've had a couple of call for attendances that were requested to be posted. A couple of issues dealing with when somebody, an old veteran, passes away, the family doesn't know where to go and the family doesn't know what to do. I always felt like, and maybe I don't know, everybody else was told, when it comes to the VA, is that I always feel like, and I don't want to throw things into pillars and all, my PSYOP, information operations / background. And of course, I don't want to sound like, I don't know. It just seems to be that the VA should have there should be three major missions. And I know they do cover some of it, but just in case, how I feel what the VA should be doing, is that, obviously ensuring that veterans are given the top health care for whatever has happened through injuries or diseases or anything that has happened within their service. Of course, top-notch medical care for veterans. I mean, I think that's what the VA should be, one of the I guess spheres or pillars or whatever you want to talk about. Maybe I'll have a friend of mine do some graphics to show what I mean. But then the other one is the benefits, the compensation factor of the compensation of us serving. And a lot of people like to talk about, it's disability money and blah, 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 blah. Mostly coming from the civilian people. That's why I always say, the military, the military civil, the mil-civ divide is about as big as the fucking Grand Canyon, maybe even wider, because now individuals have gone from the support the troops aspect to a fuck the troops. They're now just all a bunch of welfare cranes, and now all they do is get money for this. And it really sucks that we don't do enough of messaging. And I say we veterans sometimes, but we also, the VA doesn't do a very good description. Now, I get it. They have websites. I do get VA emails and all that. And it says, hey, notice this, notice that. It just seems like you got to get where how do I reach these kids? How do you reach the childrens? How do you reach the older vets? There's got to be a big, I don't know, a wide, I don't want to sound like, fucking I'm a soldier. A big wide spread shot of, blam, shotgun blast of here's what you could do here's what the VA is doing for you. Here are what the platforms you can get to. Here's what the issues with compensation. Here's what the issues with what you need to do. And I'm just talking about the compensation part, like, getting your disability check, you're getting your BA compensation check. And I think that's where a lot of it gets mixed up. Because you ever notice that when you see somebody in the civilian world and they get hurt on the job, and they always say, I'm going to go get paid. I got that workman's comp. I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to get this, and this. And they want to fix you, right? They actually will say, due to you, I mean, this is, my experiences in the past. Due to you have been injured on the job, that's why they tell, okay, well, then you mess up your back, then you're going to get a back brace. You're going to get an arm brace. That's something to prevent you from getting that. Well, the VA, the military doesn't do that. The military is like, put this ruck on, put these boots on, carry this rifle, put this helmet on, put this kit on, put this armor on, and go do things. And whatever way happens, that is the compensation. That's almost kind of like part of the contract, right? We will compensate you for fucking your body up for doing this. And I'm just like I said, so that's like, I guess you would say pillar 2. The last one I think should be the what would be considered like a sphere or pillar of what I and this is my vision of how I see it. If I was to run the empire, if I was the Grand Admiral of the VA, I would see that last part is like cradle to when you join to grave, as in when you die, when obviously some people are really queasy and they feel real uncomfortable talking about, but hey, look, none of us live forever. And when that time comes, a family member will have to take care of the veterans, have to handle and schedule the funeral, the plots, the headstones and all that. There's arrangements, that mortuary arrangements that have to happen. And we're doing okay in the front. And I say okay, we're going to talk about the other shit in a minute. We're doing okay on the front. I really think that getting some of the treatment, because some of the treatment that I've gotten from the VA has been pretty good. Like dude, you're fucking old. You should have gotten this. You should, got to schedule you for surgery. And then you're going to go to this hospital here. We're going to take you, or you're going to go to the nearest military installation that can do it, that can facilitate it. Or you're going to go up to the main one, the regional one that's, near where you live. So you're like, all right, cool. So those have been kind of like, I don't know, as far as like the actual care, the actual, I've had some health drama. Then on the actual physical care, the actual medical care, that's been okay. The compensation part, that's been okay too. Every time I've had a question or whatever, but there's also some of that. You guys have heard about that controversy about needing AI and all that to go over, because the VA has been in the news for like 3 things already. The medication portion, that, your compensation will be lowered for new ones. And of course, they're not saying about the individuals that have already been, which that's another thing. We'll go back in a minute. But the compensation with medication differentiation, the AI of going through all your medical records and all that. And then this newest one, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, after I bring up my last sphere. My last sphere is mortuary affairs, casualty assistance. We used to do pretty good. I mean, during the GWAT, we did pretty good. The Army, and I would say, just speaking of the Armies, also speaking as a casualty assistance officer myself, formerly trained, qualified and all that. We do pretty good. I mean, there are things that we do and all that, and of course there are some shit that slips through the cracks, and of course that's not always the casualty assistance officer stuff. Usually it's the casualty that has had any issues that they maybe didn't update, like their DD-93, the primary notification of kin. I mean, very small percentage, but the majority from what I've seen, the casualty assistance process in the Army has been good. I mean, except with the way and this is on the GWAT. Once the GWAT ended, then it's been kind of like spotty on how we're communicating, notification, and how, like, for instance, there's instances where the family doesn't wish it and the family does. That right there, those are individual cases. But other than that, as far as casualty notification, we do okay. As far as handling, the casualty assistance portion, okay, active duty wise. Now, the veteran side of the house, my last pillar, my last sphere, spheronics or whatever. I gotta talk to somebody who does, whiteboard designs and all that's pretty good, and see if that person can knock it out. What I mean, what my vision looks like. Oh, my vision. I sound like almost like my vision of. So this one would be the mortuary affairs. And the reason why is because myself personally, over the weekend, I worked with two families that did not know that the VA handled specific tasks for veterans that would be for a loved one that has passed on. And I'm just kind of like happening once. It's once in a while thing, but it happened twice over the weekend, and I've looked around to see if there's anything in the VA sphere or the VA info space, if that has happened. Now, I will say this. The veteran service organizations have assisted tremendously in these types of processes, but nothing against the VSOs. I don't want to say I don't want the VSOs to take the work on it, because obviously the VA would be overwhelmed with veterans, passing away and having to handle the funerals, having to handle, having to work with funeral homes and all that. Maybe they shouldn't have fired 30,000 people to, shit like that. Like, in other words, if there's missions that need to be handled, maybe you shouldn't have removed individuals so quick and doged them out and have them work in a need that is now starting to come up, because 20 years of war, the greatest generation is now passing away in faster numbers. We just posted a call for attendance for a veteran of the 3rd Infantry Division, World War II veteran who turned 100, and so little things like that. It shouldn't take a VSO to do that. It shouldn't take the VA to have to depend on a VSO. When you had 30,000 people, you could have done it. That right there is some of the. I don't want to say it's most of the issues that we see in other pages, other VSO pages, and other. I know some other larger not meme pages, but other military content related pages that deal with that. The VFW has been instrumental in highlighting a ton of stuff. And it's just to me that I think there needs to be a better messaging campaign. I think there needs to be something that's more broad. Instead of having fucking Twitter posts of, hey, this is what we're doing. You got to go where the audience is at. Mima and Pop are not on Twitter. They are not. They are mostly on Facebook. They barely know Instagram. And that I'm just going to say the audience for that right there, it's more user friendly for the elderly to be on Facebook. I'm not fucking shutting them out because I can't stand them. Than it is Twitter. Twitter for them, they don't understand nuance. They don't understand where they can go. That they know if another family member shares a Facebook page from the VA, but the VA has been posting so much on X and barely. And I noticed. I was talking to somebody about that too. I've noticed that there's more content. There's more time. For some reason, everyone's moving to fucking. I get it. X is fucking fun. I love that app. It's a fun app to be on. You want to shit post, and people want to argue with you and all that stuff. But yeah, they're on Fox. I would say, Jose, they're on not only on Fox, but they're on. I'd say they're more on Newsmax. They're more on Newsmax. Fox is kind of like in the middle, and there's a CNN one, and then there's like another one's like the other 90. So they're big, prominent, heavy right, heavy left leaning accounts that old people go on, and then immediately I have to say this right now, guys. Me Mom and Pop Pop, your Me Mom and Pop Pop are on our page, and they hit us up, and we'll have an elderly family member that says, my husband, my uncle, whatever, has passed away, and I don't know where to go to. The funeral home will not bury, and they say we will be compensated if we do this, if paid after, even though they're a veteran, even though they're authorized. And I just feel like right there, that's the deficit. That's where the VA needs to really up their messaging on. The VA, oh yeah, and YouTube, yeah. Oh yeah, I got family members who prefer to watch stuff on YouTube, and they'll sling it to their TV so they can watch it on TV. Then on like some reruns or some hot takes or something like that, or some news clips, like you were saying, Jose. It's all of them. But I really think that's where the disconnect is. I think the messaging from the VA should not have to come from Secretary Doug Collins being on social media with only specific individuals and specific platforms. X, it's fun. Getting with the military content creator when nobody knows who the fuck they are. I'm talking about old people. Us, I guess you could say I'm getting to the old people side of the house. The elderly, the older people, don't know who these individuals are. And so something to where it's more, I don't know, maybe more friendlier for the elderly or somebody to go, but also talk about some of the benefits. And it's a benefit. I mean, nobody wants to talk about it. People get a little queasy when someone passes on. What happens next? You have a family member that's had, and like I said, I was talking to one of the family members, for a good, helping them out for a good couple hours, going back and forth in chats, and then finally we talked, and I actually said, hey, let's just get on the horn here and let's talk. But there has to be I just see like the family members, veteran family members, families of veterans don't have something to go to, don't have a resource touch point. We send out a link that says, oh, well, veterans could this and you could do this. And matter of fact, let me pull that up here on that aspect of what we post up. And basically what we post up, and usually what gets the conversation started is a family member will hit us up, and then we go through the process, and we say, okay, what's going on? What do you need? Do you have this? We usually call. We will call, and that's a lot of people don't understand. Is that we'll call somebody from a mortuary. We'll call a funeral home. We will call a member of the VA. The VA doesn't really have a quick, like how we have a casualty assistance office, or we will relay the family member to the casualty assistance office. Let me pull up this link here. What we do every time we get a message when it comes to. First off, we do is we hey, if you guys, do you have any financial assistance that you need? Here are certain groups that can help you out for that. Let me click on this and show you guys what we send out. Are you hinting the VA should have a watered down casualty assistance liaison? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm actually saying that. I just think that at this point, due to the GWAT being gone, we really don't have a robust casualty assistance system that could jump and assist with veterans just like it used to. But now we have to have a VA casualty assistance office. And that's just me. I think we need to have a place, a sole source place where a family member can go and say, yep, I need to get information. My veteran family member has died. What do I do next? Now, normally, like I said, what we do is we end up doing this. And I'll show you this link right here of what we send them, of what we send a family member. And we walk through the process with the family member, which it literally is. It sucks that we have to do this. I'm just kind of like, God, why do we do this for? Why can't the VA do this? And what we do is we send them a link. And then once the link is open, we discuss and talk with the family member exactly this. For families, eligibility, we go through and we literally walk on this. Now, here's where I don't like this. I don't like this part. As my kid, he's emulating some of the cartoons that he watches. I don't like this. I don't like the applying online shit, especially when a family member has passed, a veteran has passed. Family members are obviously upset. They're very sensitive to anything that's being asked, and it's not. It's because of what their mental, not would say their mental state, their emotional state is, because they have to have a peace of mind. When you tell a family member, you got to be real careful what you can and cannot give, what you can do, what you can do to assist them to walk them through. Now, here's the part that I don't like. I don't like the fact that we at U.S. Army WTF Moments have to send families to these freaking VA apply online links. I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel that there should be on this right here, National Cemetery Administration, burial and memorial benefits. There should be a link. If you have had if your veteran has just passed away, click here is what I think should be right off the bat. And then should be like a flow. Like I said, this one family member that I was talking to, this individual was pretty squared away and knew about web design and web page building and stuff like that. And we really were walking through the process. Okay, so I need to do this. Yes. You need to do that. Yes. I don't have the information of where's your veteran being buried at? The veteran's going to be buried at this specific place. Okay, cool. Let's call up the funeral home in this area. Is this where the veteran wished to have? Do you have any documentations? I mean, it literally is every time when you see a call for attendance, do you have an obituary? It's a process. We would prefer that we have these 72 hours out so that way we can work for any of the particulars. Sometimes families of deceased veterans will have this information already, so it's easy for us to get it and post it, and that's why you'll see the call for attendance. But one of the things that I do not like the fact that a family who just lost a veteran or a service member or soldier or whatever, I know the Casualty Assistance Office will assist them in the active side, but as far as the veteran side, as soon as you pop up the National Cemetery burial and benefits, there should be a link. Has your veteran passed away? Click. Once you click that, are you a spouse? Are you a son, daughter, blah, blah, blah? Click that. Where are you located? Click that. And once that happens, the regional area of whatever veteran associate, like would mean like Southern California would be Los Angeles, okay? Then you'd click that. Somebody in Los Angeles would connect with you at that VA medical center to begin the process to assist that family member of that deceased veteran to process burial, to process reimbursement, to work with. I mean, Ricky Tick didn't fucking those VA casualty assistance officers will have all the funeral homes in the location that have been using veterans to bury. I mean, they'd have to build up a network. I mean, of course, but there has to be something better. And the reason why, again, I bring this up is because now, and it's kind of funny. I mean, I joke around about, well, sort of kind of joke around 30,000 veteran affairs employees getting fired. This is where I think this would have been a great idea to keep those jobs and then moving around to create a veteran casualty assistance office, to create a pretty much a rapid response to get veterans buried, in a timely manner, where there's less pain and emotional suffering with the families having to work with this stuff. There's some family members that are when they work with us, when we talk to them, they're very lucid. They okay, I understand. And then there's family members where we literally have to let them vent a little bit because it's a frustrating process. So what would I envision? Somebody asked me, what would you do? And I'd say the National Cemetery Administration, bam, rapid response team, has your veteran been deceased? And that would be the quickest way. And then to get the meat and potatoes of the process right there, that would be, of course that could be worked out. And like I said, what I did with this family over the weekend is we talked. We talked to the funeral home. The funeral home was like, "No, you got to pay." Okay, well, let's get a DD-14, blah, blah, blah. And the DD-14, and then the family members are like, "Why are we having to do this? Why isn't the VA doing this? Why isn't the VA processing this?" That's why I go back to the messaging portion of it. For survivors, yeah, exactly that. It's right there for survivors and families and veterans and unclaimed veteran remains and funeral honors. That should be a little bit more added to it. So it'd almost be like a drop down. Who are you in relation to the veteran? I'm a spouse. Bang, you put the spouse information there. Blah, 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 blah. Do you have a copy of the individual's DD-214? A photograph copy will do. Bam, you upload it. Bam. Okay, you get through that process. What funeral homes or what zip code are you at? And then you put in your zip code. You put in your zip code, and then it has a drop down of the cities, and then bam. Are you which funeral home or which just it should be simple, right? It should be real fucking simple. It should not have to be a family coming up to us or any page or VSO. And I thank the VSOs for a lot of the work that they do to help family members with their deceased veterans. But I don't know. I just feel like the VA this should be way so into the weeds of the VA's lane that they should not be talking about hey, we're making veteran claims more rapid and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well shit. There's what's considered a claim in the VA. What does the VA consider as a claim? Compensation or burial benefits? That's a claim, right? Because if it's money's being handed out to the funeral home and money's about to be given to the families for the funeral home, I don't know. For some reason I get it. Cradle to grave. Or, enlistment to grave. That should be. Holly says a very simple correction is to make things smoother for these families should be a top priority. Yes, it should be a top priority, Holly, but there should be individuals that are competent and understanding in the process to do this. So again, yes, just like Patrick says, there should be a watered down, there's not a watered down casualty assistance liaison. This is a casualty assistance liaison. With funeral homes being licensed and registered, it should be tried. Yeah, exactly that. Bingo. Exactly that. A registry. That's what I was talking about. How would I do it? Create a drop down. Bam, put my zip code in. Bam, here's all the funeral homes that can assist with. Which one is your funeral home? If not, add into. And then as you're walking through, then that's where it say, please wait while an agent can chat with you. And then bam, an agent, where's a good number you could be reached at? Agent talks to you, and I'm going to say, there's not many. I'm sure because sometimes family members will handle their own funeral arrangements. Like, will it be a family cemetery or will it be somewhere else? The frequency I think will be manageable by doing it this way. That you'll be able to have somebody on the horn to say, hey. I'll say it right now. Hi, my name's Ken Ramos. I'm your casualty assistance representative. How can I help you? I've already noticed that you have this zip code, you have that zip code, and here's the places where you're registered. Who is the point of contact that you spoke with? Okay, will you stand by while I talk to that individual? Or if it's like late at night or something like that, or if it's not within reasonable hours, then I, as the casualty assistance agent, is what I would say. The casualty assistance agent will have in my notes in right there. Okay. I know that I got to call the Greater Los Angeles Forest Lawn mortuaries to handle the deceased veteran to go through this process, blah, blah, blah. And then I go, bam, I send a message back. I call back. Are you willing to, this should be like an engaging back and forth conversation with the family member that has lost their veteran. I think at that point, we're not talking about compensation. We're not talking about the, we're not talking about the care and all that, because this is the final planning in the deceased, veteran's path. And that's the way I think it should be. It should be enlistment to grave, which I'm going to say would be a slogan, but that would be the charter of the casualty assistance agents for the Veteran Administration. See, I just created some jobs that you shouldn't have cut $30,000 for. I get frustrated. When my dad passed away, he was a veteran, and there was a VSO that assisted my family in doing this, and because I was deployed and all that. So I thank them for doing that. That to me is key. That's what I think VSO should, in the deficit should help. But I think within the system, if you have a VA, I don't sound like the Bobs. What do you say you do here? At this point, what do you say you do here? If you're cutting all these jobs, you want to streamline on a bunch of stuff, but you're only talking about the medical side of the house and the compensation side of the house. Let's talk about the gray side of the house. Let's talk about, assisting families on this. And then after that, the record is closed on that veteran. It goes on a rolls. We were honored to have helped you. It was our honor to help you in ensuring that your deceased veteran is able to be sent off in an honorable function. It's that easy. It sounds woke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got another chat going. Is that your family put? It sounds woke. So again, my biggest thing is that I don't know if the VA has thought it completely. As a matter of fact, let's go through. It goes through blah, blah, blah. Can I be buried in a cemetery? Learn more about the benefits. I don't want a pre-burial, pre-need, blah, blah, blah. It needs to confirm, blah, blah, decision, burial planning at the time of need. Schedule burial now. See, a lot of this stuff is me, mom, pop having to go through. How do I schedule a number for a veteran? But what do I need to do? This all needs to be done by an agent. This doesn't need how to work. Find out what discharge documents and all this right here needs to be done, walked all the way through. And everyone's like, oh, we already do that. This is what we already have. The Army has that too. The military has a casualty assistance officer that goes all the way to the end of the disposition of the remains to burial. It's not exactly that, Holly. It is not that big of a change. So can I set up information? See all this stuff right here? Yes, this is good for facts. This is good for information, but we literally had to have a. This would be okay for national cemeteries, VA granted cemeteries, territories, blah blah blah. Tribal statement or what? There's other like memorial. These are the ones that there might be another cemetery that family members want to have buried them at. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be a list. This will be a chore, but you shouldn't have to dig. A veteran's family should not have to dig for this information. Cremate me and put my ashes in a 155 or a JDAM. Oh no, I'm gonna be maybe get like a finger or something like that and put that one of my. So stuff like this right here, it does. Pre-need. Then you got to sign in with a verified account. Pre-need. That's for the veteran. See, when a family member is going through some shit, and like I said, I've spoken to family members that were very calm, but I've also spoken to family members that they don't have time. They've suffered a great loss to them, and they don't have fucking time to be jumping through a page. They don't have time to be going through this pre-needed burial, headstones, blah 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 blah. This should be a walk the dog process, and then after that, after the process, this page right here will assist in providing the extra information. I just spoke to a casualty assistance agent. What do you do after that? What do you do if you just spoke to a casualty assistance? If there's any questions that you want to do, here is the casualty assistance office for the VA. Here's what you could do. Not only that, but here's your reference number. Here's your make sure you provide the last four of your veteran's social and your veteran's and this reference number and the veteran's name, and we'll be able to assist you to help you. And it should be like a fucking. It should not be please call in and we are not closed and blah, blah, blah. A casualty assistance center is open 24/7. This right here for veterans should be the same thing. It should be the same thing all the way. I'll add that the VA should offer the family assistance with any service-related paperwork at the time, too. Vets families go years, as a grandkid asked about. Yep, and they make it hard. Yeah, exactly that. That's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about, the enlistment to grave. Once that's happened and it's all done, a veteran can be put in I guess would be an archive, kind of like a folder. Just be a folder. Hey, this is your grandfather served in World War II. Here's all the information that we got. Blah 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 blah. Here's the obituary where he was buried. Blah blah blah. A lot of this stuff doesn't have to be splotched everywhere on different websites. Because I know that's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get somebody, who's a mondo fucking support the VA stuff. It's already on here. If you would have gone further and you covered you'd have seen. You would have seen that already. You already covered it. It's already there. I don't think you get after what we had to do over the weekend. I don't think you get it. I don't think you. It was talking to families. Blah blah blah. I need some help. Blah blah blah. And then of course the resource. Some funeral homes or some cemeteries require everything to happen up front. And then and then the VA comes back with, oh yeah, we'll reimburse you. Not all families have that luxury. Not all families should have exactly that, Holly. They should not have to go to a website. Not all families have that luxury where they can just, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, you're going to reimburse me? Well, then here you go. I guess I'll pay for it myself and blah, 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 blah. No. If you're eligible to be buried as a veteran, then guess what? You get that eligibility. Then it should be, like Holly said, it should be, like I said before, on the splash page. Has your, if your veteran has recently deceased, hit this button, bam, and then it walks through the whole process. We've been, since I've been part of WTF Moments, since most of the WTF Moments staff has seen, we've dealt with a lot of this stuff, and it really fucking sucks. It really, I mean, it's very fucking frustrating. If I could fucking give everybody money to help them vet their families, bury their families, their veteran families members, I would do. I don't have the money, but the VA said that this was part of the fucking contract, right? That's what I'm saying. It should be, again, straight up health, insurance, compensation, casualty assistance. That should be like the three spheres. There we go. The three spheres of veteran care. That should be the veteran focus. Now, there's recently been a post that we posted up and a story and released that the VA is considering conservatorships for aging veterans. There's some veterans that can't make decisions on their own. There's some veterans that cannot, especially the homeless veterans that are dealing with some mental issues, that are dealing with some addiction issues. Now, I'm 50-50 on that. And the reason why I'm 50-50 on it is like, yes, this is good. Conservatorship, where are you going to put them? First off, are we going to build more homes for veterans to reside in if they're in a mandatory conservatorship? What standard of care are these veterans going to do this? How is it going to be handled? How is it going to be? Because, you can announce all you want, but once you start, you're going to have to go through a checklist and, knock out all the wickets of what do you mean when you're talking about a conservatorship for some veterans for behavioral health? Again, I know I see the homeless veteran population being the big category in this, and addictions. And also as they age. That's my 50-50 on that side. My 50-50 on the other side is a veteran who's fairly young, who's going through some behavioral health issues, and the slippery slope of, we're going to take your fucking guns, we're going to lock you up, we're going to do this, and this. That's where I kind of have, because, then who is the judge or who is the arbiter of the forced conservatorship? Because, hey, just as well as you wait means that they are with you with under your care as well as making all the decisions. Oh yeah. Well, we've seen that happen before with red flag laws. I mean, especially in different states. Different. Hang on, let me pull this up right quick. Let me pull this up right back. Because I was like, I don't. Again, that's the 50% of me that I'm kind of like, So basically, this is what the definition it is. The VA conservatorship is a legal arrangement. Now, again, I'm not hammering it. I'm not hemming and hawing and saying, no, they shouldn't do it. I do see some benefit in this, but I also see some slippery slope in this. The VA Department of Justice, the famous, yeah, exactly that. We're from the government and we're here to help is the worst thing to hear. Exactly. And this was some of the developments that was recently posted on a Stars and Stripes article. That in 2026, the VA, the Department of Justice, the Pam Bondi Department of Justice, we haven't seen anything about the Epstein files. Anyways, of understanding allowing VA attorneys to act as special assistant attorneys in state court proceedings. That's why I said, depending on what state, right? This enables the VA to seek public guardianship or conservatorship for veterans who are clinically determined to be incapable of making medical or financial decisions, particularly those who are homeless, which is, like I said, or lack of family support. The expansion aims to ensure that vulnerable veterans receive timely care and protection of their rights, though it has raised questions about autonomy and due process. That's me. I'm in the raising questions portion of it. You know, I get mad, I have a bad day. You know, somebody fucking pisses me off somewhere and I just fucking take something the wrong way, or I don't know, I snap, or, you know, I get mad and I get in an argument and it's publicly seen. Could be my fault, could not be my fault of why the argument started. Doesn't matter. I get mad. And of course, he's got PTSD. I think he's a veteran. He's PTSD. Oh my God. He's flipping the fuck out. Blah, blah, blah. He's got PTSD. Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, the VA is like, oh yeah, hey, he's the fucking shit poster on fucking U.S. Army WTF Moments that shit talks the VA. He definitely needs to be under conservatorship. And we need to lock him up. That extreme? I don't know. That's my yeah, Holly says, I'm a civilian and I would never want a conservatorship. See, that's the I would have to see how it would work. Maybe this is part of the sphere that I was talking about the enlistment to grave. The third sphere of veteran care. Like if they get to the point where they have to have a conservatorship where they're going to pass soon, then that would be under that portion right there. So exactly that, Holly. I'm agreeing with you there. I'm kind of like, who's going to evaluate? Because I know in, like I said, state-appointed attorneys or whatever, the court's going to evaluate. Hey, Ken lost his shit in the fucking Safeway because somebody bumped him in the fucking in the aisle with his kid in the cart. What's going to happen then? We know he's a veteran, right? He's a veteran. He's a veteran. Oh yeah, no guns for you. Yeah, no guns for you. And again, certain states, they'll take your guns. We think it's better that you take your weapons, even though it's somebody who's not committed a crime with any weapons or something like that, or it could not just, like I said, somebody could just bump into me in the fucking thing, being rude. and think they can just do what they fucking want, because you know how society's getting. People like to just think they can do what they want. My family's gonna have me like Britney Spears. Like, oh man, I'm sorry, leave Britney alone. Exactly, man. Family's gonna have me like Britney Spears pocketing my VA checks. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You know, there's gonna, and again, that's the fourth sphere, or the incumbency sphere. I like the sphere. I'm in the sphere mood right now. The incumbency, the information operations, the information influence program messaging of the VA's got to get better. Because that guys like me, guys like you guys in the chat are going to ask, the fuck you mean about conservatorship? You going to take my shit? You going to take my guns? I get mad at a cop and I fucking get a speeding ticket and I was going to say, oh, you're a veteran, huh? No. Some of us has veteran on our license, on our driver's license. Yeah, that's right. Want to represent me being a veteran. Oh, your veteran ass is going to get a conservatory shit because fucking you were shit posting against Doug Collins. Yeah. I'm not comfortable with that because some people like me, I have a temper. It takes a lot for me to ramp up a little bit, but once I start ramping up and I go off, especially when I feel like my kids are threatened, family's threatened. I'm just bringing up the Safeway scenario. Safeway, for you guys that know, out west, West Coast is a store. It's like Ralph's, Vaughn's, Safeway. I guess, you know, it's like being out south where you got, you know, the Food Lion and Harris Teeter, Publix. So that's why you don't trust your stuff. Don't be saying about, that's what I'm saying. Don't make comments like that, Pip, online. I'm just saying, might as well delete that. I saw this veteran right now trying in chats and he was talking about this. Blah, blah, blah. He needs a conservatorship. So now everything's going to be, he needs a conservatorship. He was speaking up against the VA. He needs a conservatorship. Oh shit, he's getting he needs a conservatorship. Shit posting and throwing some memes out about the Secretary of VA, Doug Collins. He needs a conservatorship. But if it's explained and a proper messaging campaign goes out, comms helps on a lot of this shit, baby. You'll get your fucking message across if you explain it. And explain it not on Twitter. Explain it on all platforms. Hi, I'm Doug Collins, if I was to play the role. Hi, I'm Doug Collins. I notice you guys are concerned about conservatorships. Here's what happened. Don't just sit there and say, we just signed. Have a picture of Pam Bondi You're both signing some documents saying, yeah, we just teamed up with the Department of Justice. A memorandum of understanding for VA attorneys to act as special assistants, you attorneys in state court proceedings. Wait a minute, weren't you the guy that lost his shit in a Safeway because somebody bumped into you with a cart? You thought they were harming your kid? According to the police, they say nothing, but I don't know. Conservatorship. There you go. Leave Brittany alone. Leave ICE alone. I'm just saying, man. That gets into the slippery slope shit. Veterans that are not able to take care of themselves, or have no families, or are able to go in a home. Bam, got it. Fucking A. Let's rock and roll. Let's take care of these veterans on the street that need to be helped, that need to get the help. I totally get that. They do not have anybody else. I got it. It's got to be explained to veterans. Because when you post some shit on Twitter and it gets posted on Facebook by some fucking left or right-leaning fucking, see what they're going to try to do to us? Oh, they're going to do this. Raw. The vet bros. Raw. They're going to try to take our veterans. Raw. Benefits. Raw. Raw. Yeah, post it. You got to fucking be clear and concise with your messaging. No, this is not we're going to take you and throw you in a fucking halfway house because somebody said on a podcast that because they got bumped into at a shopping cart. This is what's happening. This is what's actually happening. Just glad we don't live in the UK. Yeah, we'd be excited. We'd all be in jail. Be in jail. Why did you post this? Why did you say this? Oh, well, so again, all right. So, I think we beat that dead horse. I think also, like I said, it's just frustrating. I just really wish that I really wish there was better messaging from the VA, not just on Twitter. And it is on a website. It's on a website and it's good. Again, I hope the families that we talked to over the weekend, have gotten the help that the best we could do. Referred them also to some VSOs that helped out. Like I said, I know for my family when I was deployed, a VSO stepped in to help out my family because I was out, obviously. And that was a big help. So again, VSOs are out there. I'm not trying to cut VSOs or trying to say, no, you guys don't do enough. I'm just saying they should be able to supplement what the VA can't handle, especially when it comes to, I'll create a job, casualty assistance agents. And these got to be individuals that, are a little bit sensitive and understanding of the process. Have you ever attended the casualty assistance training course for your specific service? You have. Okay, cool. Stuff like that. I think it'll help out. All right. The WTF Nation Timeline. So, as you guys know, the Air Force, when they knock on my door, they just need to come with everything already arranged. Just my opinion. Yeah. Agreed, Holly. Agreed. As you guys know, that the Air Force has released, the Department of War has released the names of the individuals that were lost in the KC-135 aircraft crash. This was the casualties that were posted. We also posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments' main page as well. Our hearts go out to the families. These are the names right here: Major John Kinner, Captain Ariana Savino, Tech Sergeant Ashley Pruitt, and then Captain Seth Koval, Captain Curtis Angst, and then Tech Sergeant Tyler H. Simmons, and they were located from different locations and different units. So again, we want to express our condolences to the family and to their teammates. Now, here's the thing that pisses me off. Everyone said we were bootlickers for posting for saying it's the Department of War. It's the Department of War. Look, you can get mad all you fucking want. You can get pissed off at what it is. Look, we can argue about that shit, but have some fucking class and don't post it. And don't comment that on a notice of KIAs or MIAs. Show some fucking respect. At least do that. Now, when that happened, I'm going to open up all the comments. Since everyone likes to talk shit, Comments like this. A lot of people like to talk shit on the web. And everyone asks us, hey, WTF Moments, why don't you delete comments? Why don't you, we believe in the First Amendment, okay? The consequences of your actions, of your posting, that's for you to fucking deal with and for your deity that is going to be responsible for whatever fucking happens to you when it comes to karma or whatever. But comments like this, I'm just fucking shocked that you have the disrespect to even fucking the audacity to post that shit. I'm looking at this and I'm like, why is Army WTF playing the Department of War games? Again, right now it's called the Department of War. Just like Fort Bragg is Fort Liberty and then it's back to Fort Bragg. We're not here to pick fucking fights and go through the fucking bullshit and pick pepper out of fly shit when it comes to what the proper names are or whatever of what the government has decided to call or call them. I'm going to get that in a minute. Why is Army WTF? Now this right here, and of course, I'm about to say, it's funny to see the comments of the WTF Nation here. It's pretty fucking funny to see this. Hang on, let me get a little closer right here. Let me get closer so you guys can see names. There you go. Somebody appreciate it. Somebody said, "Hey, I can't see the names." I guess there's individuals right now in the audience taking names. You guys at the WTF Nation, we appreciate it. Oops, let me go back up. There you go. Everyone here, there's an interesting thread here. Everyone talking shit. Somebody said because it's a military content page and the executive order that renames the DOW applies to the military, I as a soldier am obligated to refer it as the Department of War. Now some of you guys will say, yeah, some of these are bot pages, but some of them aren't. Some of them are actually, there are some humans behind it. It's funny. Let the pages be what they are. If they're bots or not, that's fucking understandable. I get that. I can see some of you guys in there in the comments, bots. You're going to have to also come to the realization that there's some fucking Americans out there that actually put this on the fucking timeline on our page. Yeah, right here. This John Bunyan guy. There is no Department of War. Anyone who indulges them is complicit. How many of them are from Africa? We're going to get into that in a minute. They literally just tagged a page that didn't name it. I mean, so we got some hardcore. We got some the vet. We appreciate Richard for the condolences and all that. You got individuals here that fucking here. Shut up. Oh, here we go. James Carey Buchanan. I mean, these guys are like fucking all hardcore. And David Foster here. Like I said, I'm just highlighting a name here. Oh, you guys couldn't even see that. My bad. My apologies. Let me fucking. Oh, my apologies. There we go. David Foster in here. Yeah, there you go. Right here. Yep, Native Education. Oh, here's a guy from British Columbia. I don't think Canada should talk shit. I think Canada should talk shit. Even our Paralympics fucking studs are fucking, got a gold medal. What a fucking waste. There was it right here, Anchorage, Alaska. You guys can feel free to go. This is on U.S. Army WTF Moments. We're not, quote unquote, you're doxing them. No, we're not. It's public, man. This shit's public. Former soldier, U.S. Army. Everyone's throwing their specific geopolitical comments in here on a post that is honoring and naming the 6 Lost. Oops, fucking did it again. My bad. My apologies. This is the shit exactly that. This is the shit that Twitter doesn't see. I'll be honest with you, there's some fucking shitbirds on Twitter that like to fucking disrespect as well. So yeah, so let's some other one in here. And of course, everyone's handling business. Everyone's saying that, and of course, all the memes are up. William Hamilton here says, "Way to make this political, you fucking piece of shit." Yeah, some of them edgelords, and then we got this guy right here, Jim Devine. This dude has always been in our fucking DMs and in our just straight up, spamming, not on our DMs of the posts, straight up spamming all this shit. All of it. All this stuff right here. Bam, bam, bam. All this dude is like either this guy has got his grandchildren fucking posting it, or this is the Mima and Pop that believes the other side of that. Yeah, vet bros are the worst. Yeah, they are. All right. Another thing I want to talk about the timeline. Somebody got mad. Somebody got upset because we didn't post the way they wanted us to post on an article that was posted when it came to the professor of military sciences that was killed by a terrorist. Didn't like the way we posted it. Guys, when we post something, this is what we do. We grab the caption. There's the caption. I can't believe I have to walk. There are some illiterate assholes and this is for the Facebook audiences. Actually, it's annoying as fuck. So this right here came from an article that was posted. What the hell? Look for pedestrians. Let me change that. Jesus Christ, that thing just took up my whole freaking. There we go. So the U.S. Army soldier portion of it that was killed, blah, 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 after a recent training, that caption came from here. There we go. It came from there. All the admins do is they grab a copy and the caption of the article and they post it up. That's all we do that with all. That's been a practice since we've been posting articles from the get-go. That's it. Individuals got mad at us because you guys should reword it. We don't fucking reword it. Hey, what's up there, Dr. J? See if you guys checked into the reset. The AI stuff too. Couldn't even make a comment here without somebody going, you're a blah, 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 blah. Always got to make it about politics, man. Always got to make it about politics. I almost feel like just fucking starting up a whole new fucking page and not tell you guys what it is. And just not only not telling you guys what it is, but just having a page just set up so that way it's only specific to us, because there's a lot of fake WTF Moments pages out there now. Trying to grab some of that glory for those that have been posting some shit. I think we should I'm no stranger to the sarcasm shit posting, but there is a time and place. Yeah, exactly that, Patrick. How do you like the guy that drove his truck at the synagogue the other day? Brothers recently killed by Israel. Apparently he was a Hamas commander. Yeah, and they're just trying to justify it. It's fucking frustrating, guys. It is fucking frustrating. So, yeah. That's, I don't know what to say. I don't know if, it's some of you guys need some literacy classes. I don't know if you guys need some understanding of how the media works. But that's just the way we that's just the way you post. We're always gonna post like that. So don't get mad. Let me see if there's another one here. I'm trying to find another example. My apologies. Nah, I think that's it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to end it, you guys. Just to give you guys an example, some of the articles that we get, we're getting the article caption and posting it on the timeline, and then we move on. We're not adding or editing anything that has to do with it. So if there's a correction that has to do with rank, or has a correction that has to do with whatever, or you didn't like the way it was typed out, hit up the organization that wrote up the fucking article, and then contact them and say, hey, this is these articles are sent by the WTF Nation, and we look over it and all that. That's all we do. Now, if it's something that's crazy and fucking heavily left-leaning or right-leaning or very biased, we're just not going to post it. It has to do with veterans and soldiers and all that. Like I said, our service members who were killed in the KC-135 crash. I'm just like... You can either be strong. What was that? You can be strong or smart. You can't be both. Yeah. So, other than that, the Oscars. Let's talk about the Oscars. Everyone got pissed off about the Oscars right now. Oh yeah, Vanessa Guillen gate. Yeah. What about? Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. Okay. All right. A lot of you brain surgeons and rocket scientists looked at the post and said, "You guys, first time in the military? You guys, is this new to you?" No. We're seeing that the fucking irony of renaming a gate for a murdered soldier, Vanessa Guillen, gets closed right after. That's why we posted it. Just name a gate, only to not use it? How long has it been closed? That was the fucking caption. So, if you're going to name a fucking gate, oh, it's honor, blah, 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 and then you just like, no, close it. We don't want, it's almost like, you don't want nobody to know that, Vanessa Guillen was killed at Fort Hood. You just drive by the gate. You won't be able to drive through the gate. And this is on Tank Destroyer and Rancière. Why would you ever want to go on Rancière? Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. That's another explanation of the actually, have you ever been on a military? No, actually, we've not. None of us at U.S. Army WTF Moments. Matter of fact, some of us aren't even in the service. We're just a bunch of fat E4s. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, the Oscars. All I'm going to say is this, is that, and I brought this up, that there should be, it's everyone's complaining about, the pages, this. They still air the Oscars. That is so 20th century. I always seen like video excerpts or watch somebody who's doing that. My biggest point is that, does the Oscars ever have any, like, say, for instance, there's a category for Best Picture. And does the Academy look at it and say, man, all these fucking movies suck? But we got to pick one. Has there ever been a case, because I guess there was, there was that fucking tie. Ever been a case where there was, like, no movie selected for anything? No actor selected for, like, what if all the actors sucked? What if all the directors sucked? What if all the movies sucked and then they just have to... We got to air it. Yeah, we got to air that somebody won. We got to have... the winner of Best Actor goes to... The Oscar goes to blah. Well, how about... I want to see some savage Oscars. I want to see, like... The following movies have been... the following movies are now blah, blah, blah. Whatever, pick your movie for Best Picture, and everyone claps and all that stuff. And the Oscar goes to none. They all suck. Did not meet the qualifications at all of the Academy's recommendations. I only remember my mother watching those. I never cared for them. Yeah. So if the movie sucked or not, has there been no winner? Well, like I said, these movies suck. No one gives a shit. No one gets nothing. They got to pick the worst. They got to pick the worst of the movies. I was curious. So, Now, of the movies that were selected that won Best Picture or I'll be honest with you. Anyone likes to talk shit about, the movie Sinners. I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a pretty cool movie. I mean, all the movies that they did pick and they had this, I didn't know it was out there. So that's another thing too. I'm going to judge a movie on not the other movies that I didn't see. I didn't see all the other movies that went up in competition against Sinners. I didn't, I didn't. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's cool. That movie was cool. Yeah, I saw that movie. Oh, that movie was playing? I didn't know that. Best film of the year for 2027 goes to Air Bud 34, The Billiards Beagles. Yeah. Just wait until, that's what I'm saying though. What qualifies? What is the, like, I get it. I'm not saying, I did. I enjoyed Sinners. I like that movie. That was pretty cool. It was a good movie. I particularly, though, enjoy vampire movies. I like vampire movies. So if people were crying, this is just another version of Dust Till Dawn. Do you know how many fucking inclinations of fucking Dracula were created? Or Frankenstein? We said shit about that. I enjoy vampire movies. I like that. I like horror, goth-like horror, stuff like that. Not too much jump scares. I like, ghost stories and stuff. I like shit like that. You're like, ooh, like that. But, not too much of the gore, like the Smile series, Smile 1 and 2. That movie was fucking nuts. That movie was crazy. Best horror, whatever. But I just, the controversy of everyone saying, well, it was because this movie was blah, blah, blah. There was for K-pop stuff. I didn't know that. I didn't know what was happening. I mean, show me some screeners. These are the movies that are in contention. These are the movies that this is the competition that we got for all the movies for the Oscars. And then give it to, like, Nielsen families, right? And give it to the families that are watching this and see what you enjoyed. And you watch it. And then you vote. Bam. Like American Idol, right? Not the Academy. Because it's all, but yeah, exactly. It's all nepotism and fucking politics. You blame Buffy? Huh? What? Now everyone's, of course, talking about what about movies that were made for politics? Yeah! Brokeback Mountain and Shape of Water won awards. That should tell you everything you need to know. No hate for the alphabet community. But the movie was garbage, and the other one had a lady making out with a fish. Bram Stoker's Dracula with fucking Gary Oldman, right? That's a Dracula movie. From Dusk Till Dawn, right? Again, I love fucking vampire movies. They're just fucking awesome. Interview with the Vampire, right? This is the first year they made people watch the movie before they vote for. Wasn't this the first year they made people watch? I don't know. Everyone's crying about, oh, this is the time to be. And brings up the controversy too of everyone being political and everyone talking about their political messages. Talking about free Palestine, a ceasefire in Gaza, even though they've had a ceasefire for the last 6 months. And for people liking vampire movies, Buffy. Oh yeah. No, again, Pip, for me, all of it is enjoyable. I do. I enjoy some good, Ice likes Twilight. You heard it here, folks. Twilight, I got kids. They watch them and all that. And I was like, it's not my theme. It's not like I said, that's more teen stuff like that. And, that's not the audience. The audience wasn't dads, I don't think. So. Yeah, but there was movies that everyone was trying to throw a political slant to or saying, oh, it's because of politics. Well, this is why this is. I guess right now, if you make a movie that shit talks the government that you hate, then it's going to get an Academy Award. If you watch a movie that utterly licks the nuts of an administration that everybody likes, then you're going to watch it. Because there's another movie that was about illegal immigration and all that. It was very, there's some movies, David Does Dallas 2026. Corey, I don't even think that pop culture reference to the youngins would even understand what you're talking about. I shouldn't say that because then that's how remakes get remake did not get. That's how remakes get started. Yeah, exactly. Don't say shit because remakes will get started by that. There's just some movies that are just best left alone with no remakes. Maybe a sequel that's okay, that's good, but it's got to be good. So someone was like, "Oh, see, this is great. You have this dialogue of social issues. Actors are wearing their whatever emblems they have to celebrate this or celebrate that or speak against this and fight against that." They need to drop the new Doom movie. One only thing worth watching. Oh man, yeah, Dune. I love that shit. Doom's pretty cool. Civil War needs a part 2. That movie was kind of like, aside from a couple of one-liners here, that wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't. It's alright. But all the I will say this, that when if you're talent and you're paid to do some movies, to do stuff about your genre and all stuff like that, and you expect, all these kids that want to celebrate you and all these, you develop a fandom and all that, and then they see you talking shit that they might support, or see you talking shit about a candidate or their politics or the values that within their family. That's what happens that's why AI gets created. Because I guarantee it. I predict this. We've said this before. Actors who've openly talked shit and tanked their movies will be replaced by AI. And as much as I hate AI, trust me, the movie studios will create enough fucking technology where you won't even know the difference. You won't even know that it won't be like some fucking Instagram fucking AI shit where your fingers are all like jacked up and your face is all blurred up. Nah. There's gonna, just like Snow White, how that shit tanked. They're gonna replace. You're not gonna even notice. There's gonna be a new actress. It's gonna be like a Hollywood secret. There's gonna be an actress out there that nobody fucking really sees, nobody really fucking knows, and blah 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 blah. All of a sudden, it's gonna come out, be in a movie. Who the fuck is this actress or actor? This actress and act. Oh man, so what movie is this? This person's incredible. This person needs to do interviews. Blah blah blah. They'll use body doubles to say, so-and-so was spotted there, and it'll be a complete AI actress. Why? Because the actors and actresses wouldn't shut the fuck up, and their studios are tired of losing money. That's why I think AI is going to come in and take over these actors. Hey, I just want to see my favorite Star Wars character or Star Trek character or Western character. I just want to see them make some good movies, and they say, hey, pat you on the back, and blah, blah, blah. But when you're watching them talk about guns, how much they hate guns, but in their movies, they're shooting guns. I want to see how the Harry Potter made for TV show on HBO. This is the counterculture. Yeah, this is counter pop culture. I want to see how the new Harry Potter made for TV on HBO is going to turn out. I want to see how fucking I want to see how that Mandalorian versus Grogu comes out. I think they shouldn't have used that title. It's just me to keep up with the Star Wars branding. It's like, Rogue One, Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. There's also got to be a flow. Rogue One, Solo, The Empire Strikes Back. But he knows the star. But the Mandalorian and Grogu doesn't flow right. They should call it something else. They should call it the Mandalorian. They should just call it Bounty Hunter. Call it something else. I'm just waiting to see what actor or actress fucking tanks that fucking movie by opening their mouth about anything. Half the actors in Hollywood already look like AI in real life. Have you seen Nicole? Dude. Yeah, I did. I didn't recognize her. I thought it was like some model that looked kind of resembled like somebody else, but didn't look like Nicole Kidman. This new collagen Ozempic / face puffing, cheek puffing, what the hell? What y'all guys doing to your face, ladies? Please stop. I like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's almost like there's some talk. Somebody's going around saying, in some specific clique, someone's doing something to make their face. And Grogu's going to be Insomniac with the win. Grogu's going to be played by Bella Ramsey. It looks like it's going to be another episode. Right, exactly. It doesn't seem movie-esque. Doesn't seem like it's theater stuff, right? When you think about Mandalorian, Grogu, and you think about Rogue One, this is some serious fucking shit, right? You're like, oh shit, like this is gonna be some serious. This is like serious stuff. The grit of Star Wars, like how the spinoff of Andor was or something like that, you know? That's some good shit. But then Mandalorian Grogu, it was like, what was that? Was that a commercial or was that a teaser? Did it make you feel, did it feel epic and Star Warsy? A lot of them use doubles. Jim Carrey has been cracking up over his. Yeah, there's a rumor out there that Jim Carrey was on a red carpet event and yeah, everyone says no, that wasn't him, but he said it was him, but now he's saying not him. Somebody saying no, that was him, and then somebody with a face prop said it wasn't him, and it was him, and yeah. So again, I think the best advice to some of these actors and actresses that are scared of having AI replace them is shut your fucking mouth, keep the politics out your movies, and that's it. That's it. Watching all the fucking Star Wars movies, and all of a sudden you see somebody come on there going, yeah, whatever, man. This government, every administration has sucked. Trust me. You making a comment about it is an attitude when I want to sit there with my kids and watch Star Wars and shit. I want to sit there and watch, eat some popcorn and Red Vines, Twizzlers, and drink some freaking Coke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some theaters, you can drink beer. I don't know if you want drunk me fucking getting all frustrated and over a Star Wars movie. Yeah, I believe in him. I believe it was a way to say it's all fake. Yeah, I'm just saying, Holly. AI faces are scary. They sure are. I'm just going to double check to make sure if we're not missing anything. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. I think that's it. I think we're ready for some freaking. Are we ready for some housekeeping? What movie do you think? I don't know. No, they did officially announce the 6th casualty there, Patrick. That was the one in Kuwait. Yes, they did. It wasn't a believed to be of death, but I'm still pissed off about that. I can't believe they even fucking did that. No, it was confirmed. Let me pull up this fucking sheet right here. Could have sworn. Where is the freaking cut sheet here? You guys know, we're broadcasting live on 5 different platforms, 2 YouTube pages, 2 Facebook pages at US Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, and on X at WTF Nation Radio. But we now got podcasts getting loaded up. And so Melania is #1 across the world on Prime. If you guys did not see that movie honors Ryan Nouse, the psyoper that was killed at Abbey Gate. Well, she honors all the individuals that were killed at Abbey Gate. But Ryan's story, it gets highlighted. I'm not going to ruin the movie, but I'm just going to say that. All right, check it out. Anyways, we are on other platforms too. Check this out. Check it. Apple Podcasts, Podcasting of Spotify, Castamatic, Amazon Music, Castro, Castbox, Fountain, CurioCaster, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Overcast, Pandora, Podcast Guru, Podcasts, Pocket Cast, I should say, PodLP, Podcast Addict, Podverse, and True Fans. That sounds like OnlyFans. True Fans. True Fans. You don't listen to me on True Fans. Woo woo. That sounds hot. Sounds like podcast sounds like an adult. Oh yeah, exactly. True Fans. And don't forget, we are right now on the Monday edition. You guys just heard The King and Me. Change this right quick. Pew. You heard The King and Me earlier at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course, on the Monday edition right after. Come stumbling in. And then tomorrow's Pop Culture Warrior. Awesome. They had a great time over at AwesomeCon. I got to see some exclusive footage. I can't wait to see it get posted up from CQ and the crew. You guys will see that tomorrow. Michael Cataschio, known as the Pop Culture Warrior. Smoke Pits taking a break. TC and Radar on Wednesday. And, of course, the WTF Nation Radio's Sports Bar with the actual King Smith. And what do you hear? What do you say? Sarge Time, myself, and Spanky. FTX is on a bye week on Freitag on Friday. And then, of course, Weekend Co-ops on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, The Reset with Dr. J. Ariel Jordan. I've been enjoying those shows. Everyone's been telling me that they good feedback on that show. So glad to have Dr. J. Sunday we're considering making that like a spiritual / mental / physical wellness type thing. So you're going to see more like related shows. You guys know we do our buddy checks every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So you guys know we post that up. So yeah, it'll the shows are getting bigger. There's more shows coming up. The plate's getting fuller. Shows are getting bigger. We're getting bigger. I think that's it. You guys got any questions for me? Any drama for your mama? Any Oscar discussions that you have? You guys want to talk about my takes about it? Hey, look, whatever. I mean, I post frequently on Twitter or X at the IO guy, the Grand Admiral Propaganda. As a matter of fact, let me show you my guy's freaking account here. Where am I? I can't even find myself. There we go. There you go. This is moi. There you go. This is me on X. Sorry, I post a lot. Post a lot of crap. Shit post. Here's where matter of fact, some of the stuff that we talked about. Hey, there's me telling everybody. Here's Vet Tix, our friends at Vet Tix. There's a show, King of Me. So like you said, some of the stuff right here. Hots and Cots, our friends over at Hots and Cots, Rob Evans and his team over there. So, yeah. So at the IO guy, get yourselves an X account. But again, don't just stay on X. There are other platforms that, again, I keep saying this at the VA. There's got to be a better messaging strategy. There's got to be more stuff. Don't just post on fucking X because me, mom, pop do not see your shit. Or don't be delayed. Do it all at the same time. When you're posting something on X, it should be like all across the board at the same time. So make sure you share, like, and follow. Hit the thumbs up. And oh, thanks, Josiah. I'm honored. The Grandmaster of Propaganda of Excellence. Behoof. Like a brag. Always cool seeing you in the chats, Josiah. Anyways, make sure you share, like, and follow. And shots. See you. Put on a beer.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Nothing feels the same. Left it all behind. Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Я батько. Я молодший брат.
Я водій маршрутки. Я скоро одружуся. Я фанат шахтера. Начальник отдела продаж.
Я прораб.
Я программист. Я свидетель на свадьбе.
Дядя Юра, таксист. Я вчитель фізкультури.
Я студент-геолог.
У мене своя фірма.
Я кращий друг зі школи. Я сусід, який завжди стукає по батареї.
Я єдиний син.